Hey guys, welcome to a Goku Light anime review. Today we're going to be focusing on one of my favorite series called Reborn, or also known as Hitman Reborn. And so basically the show, the main character has very bad self-esteem issues, or I don't know how you want to say. He's very timid, but it's okay because he's only like a middle school kid or something like that. But it's a really cool series. Basically the show itself revolves around what's called the Mongolia family. The Mongolia family is basically it's connected to Italy, and it's like this heritage of basically mafia boss. It ties in the whole concept of Italy and like these different mafia bosses having different claims of territory. So you have about, I want to say like maybe 4 or 5 different mafias that they mention are spread out throughout the different world with different sets of territory. And they don't go too much in depth in the first episode, and so what we get focused here. Today's review is going to be focused on episode 1. And so what I'm going to be doing with a lot of the different shows that I like is going through episode to episode so I can get a lot more in depth, a lot more details, and really just give you a better quality review. And then so today it's going to be Hitman Reborn episode 1. And so the series itself can be found on Crunchyroll. Another reason why I'm doing the review, there's a lot of shows on Crunchyroll that really, in my opinion, aren't that good. You have a lot of shows that are just subpar. You have good ones and you have great ones. This categorizes as great, along with a lot of the greats like One Piece, Naruto, you name it, one of the bigger series on Crunchyroll, Kill la Kill, whatever people are watching, this is amongst the best. So if you haven't watched it before, be sure to check it out. Okay, so episode 1 starts with you basically see this, what looks like a baby, dressed in a Hitman suit, and basically there's a reason behind that. It'll explain a lot later in the series if you watch it. But basically he is an adult, and he looks like a baby, and he's one of the best trained hitmen. And basically he's what's considered a tutor. And he tutors mafia bosses to become heirs and become the next mafia boss to take over. And he's what's considered the 10th generation. There's been 9 Mongolia bosses before him, and he's chosen as the heir. So, let me rewind that a second. The reborn baby is chosen to mentor the heir. Kind of skipped over that a little bit. So, the baby himself, they show you who he is, how good he is. He's a trained hitman, this and that. And he's trained to, basically do anything you could think of as far as a mafia boss goes. He has all the different techniques as far as espionage, all that kind of stuff, and he also has special abilities because it is shonen. And so basically his job is to train Suna Sawada. Suna Sawada is the 10th Mongolia heir, and so he shows up in Japan because Suna's great-great-great-grandfather, which was one of the other Mongolia bosses, basically retired in Japan. And so that's how his blood makes him lineage and heir to the Mongolia family. And so basically the mentor, or also known as Reborn as they call him, that's why the show's called Reborn, the baby hitman, he comes and shows up to Japan, tells Suna, hey, I'm here to teach you, Suna's really scared about the idea and doesn't really want to do it. Reborn kind of basically forces the idea on him and tells him, like, look, you don't really have a choice, you're the heir, you're part of our family now. The mom is really oblivious, blonde, obnoxious kind of type. You have a lot of anime characters that are just kind of oblivious to the plot of what's going on, just to make everything, I guess, a lot easier in the writing. The mom is one of those characters. She doesn't really understand what's going on with her son, or the complexity of the situation, or even why that her son is put into constant drama and has situations where he's just kind of gone for days at a time. With a lot of shonen animes, the main characters just kind of disappear and go on adventures without a lot of questions being said, but I mean, that's beyond the point. So, more than anything, the first episode just really pertains on him really focusing on his, I guess you could say, timid features, and how they were going to be able to bring I could say more the hero of the competitive edge, or just the aggressiveness out of him, How is the mentor going to be able to make him more of a man, I guess you could say. And you start seeing that Suna has a deep attraction for a girl named Katekyō Sasagawa, yeah, I believe that's her name. I could be butchering it a little bit, but basically he's attracted to her. He starts kind of wanting to ask her out, but he's a little nervous. Another guy shows up, kind of more of a bully, jock type, kind of tries to bully him around. Next thing you know, they kind of end up in Japan. They have a lot of like the different like wooden sword classes. They end up in a dojo fighting with wooden swords. Basically, Suna's getting beat up for the most part. He doesn't really know how to fight. He's timid. But this is where Hitman Reborn gets real like into the shonen and powers and all that kind of stuff. And basically, Reborn, the trained mentor, comes around and shoots something called a desperation bullet at him. and when it hits him, it pulls like his inner abilities out, or his inner potential, and you start seeing this flame glow on top of Suna's head, and basically whoops the other guy's ass. The girl is, pretty, would you say, impressed by it. He's kind of, embarrassed, but he's happy that he was able to impress her. It's a cool little ending. They go home. Suna gets ready for bed, starts asking Reborn all these questions. He explains a little bit more of why he's the heir to the Mongolia family, and, why he needs to train him for what's coming in the next following episodes. So, that's basically episode 1. It's a good starter episode. I would give it a 4 out of 5. You couldn't open up much better. I would say from watching the show pretty faithfully as long as it was out, that I can tell you that the first 10 to 15 episodes can be kind of slow. They're really just driven on introducing you to the characters and getting you familiar, and it's really considered the story life arc of Reborn. It's kind of the arc where it's just chill and really timid, but if you last through those first 10-15 episodes, this is a really long series, and it has great fighting on par with One Piece and Naruto and a lot of these top shonen animes. So if you really dig shonen, just make your way through the first 15-20 episodes, and I guarantee you by episode 25, when he meets his first real villain, it's going to get really good. So if you like this video, let me know. If not, that's cool too. Be sure to dislike it if you don't like the video, but if you like it, like it. Sub if you don't already sub, and be sure to check next week for the review for episode 2 of Hitman Reborn, and we'll be reviewing this weekly along with a lot of other anime shows. So thank you for your time, and signing out.